Halo 4 is a 2012 first-person shooter video game developed by 343 Industries and published by Microsoft Studios for the Xbox 360 video game console. The seventh video game installment in the Halo franchise, the game was released worldwide in November 2012. Halo 4's story follows a cybernetically enhanced human super soldier, Master Chief, and his artificial intelligence construct Cortana, as they encounter unknown threats while exploring an ancient civilization's planet. The player assumes the role of Master Chief, who battles against rogue remnants of the military alliance of alien races known as the Covenant and warriors of the Forerunner Empire, known as the Prometheans. The game features a selection of weapons, enemies, and game modes not present in previous titles of the series. Development of Halo 4 began in 2009 and continued until September 2012. Halo 4 is 343 Industries' first original title within the Halo series. Previously, development of the main series was undertaken by Bungie, the creator of the franchise. In the developmental process, 343 Industries decided to explore the Forerunner fiction within the Halo universe, leading the team to design a new setting, enemies, and main antagonist. Existing characters and assets received visual overhauls and motion capture was used for animation within cutscenes. A goal for Halo 4's story was to incorporate more human elements. To achieve this, the developers chose to delve more deeply into the relationship between the two protagonists, Master Chief and Cortana. Several external studios assisted 343 Industries with developing Halo 4, and over 350 people worked on the game in total. The game was officially announced at Electronic Entertainment Expo 2011 on June 6. Prior to launch, Microsoft stated that Halo 4 was the most expensive video game title the company had created so far. The game was marketed with promotional events and videos, including the creation of a live-action film, Halo 4: Forward Unto Dawn. Halo 4 grossed $220 million on its launch day and $300 million in its opening week, a record for the franchise. More than 1 million people played Halo 4 on Xbox Live within the first 24 hours of its release. The game received generally positive reviews from professional critics and received multiple nominations and awards from the press. It was re-released as part of Halo: The Master Chief Collection for the Xbox One on November 11, 2014. A sequel, Halo 5: Guardians, was released for the Xbox One on October 27, 2015. Gameplay: Halo 4 is a shooter game in which players predominantly experience gameplay from a first-person perspective. The game perspective switches to third-person when using certain weapons, abilities and vehicles. The player's head-up display shows real-time information on the player character's armor system, such as shield status, information on current weapons and abilities, and waypoints for goals and objectives. The HUD also has a motion tracker that detects allies, enemies, and vehicles within a certain radius of the player. The game sees the return of the alien Covenant, his foes, and introduces a new type of enemy called the Prometheans, which are Forerunner constructs. There are 3 types of Prometheans. Knights serve as leaders of the group and are considered as the deadliest of the Promethean forces. Crawlers are a weaker class that often attack in packs, and Watchers offer support and have the ability to shield or revive Promethean allies. Halo 4 features updated versions of many human and Covenant weaponry from previous Halo games, as well as introducing new weapons for the humans, Covenant and Prometheans. The game also features reusable equipment, called armor abilities, introduced in Halo Reach. New armor abilities are Auto-Sentry, Hard Light Shield, which activates a protective barrier similar to a riot shield, Promethean Vision, which diminishes environment detail and shows hidden players as silhouettes, Regeneration Field, which heals all players in close proximity and can emit a short-range kinetic blast, and Thruster Pack, which allows the player to launch themselves several feet in a horizontal direction. Returning abilities include Active Camouflage, Jetpack, and Hologram, which creates a facsimile of the player running towards a target point. Sprinting returns in Halo 4, however players can now use it independently of their armor ability. New gameplay mechanics introduced to the series include throwing and catching, which has been implemented into the multiplayer game types Oddball and Griffball. Modes Halo 4's story or campaign mode can be played alone or cooperatively with one other player on the same console via split screen, and up to 3 other players through Xbox Live. Unlike in Halo 3 cooperative campaign where each player takes the role of a different character, in Halo 4 all players assume the role of Master Chief. Players can enable skulls in the campaign menu which act as gameplay modifiers such as increasing enemy health, changing NPC behavior or removing elements of the player's HUD. The campaign also features terminals which provide the player with additional backstory via videos viewed in the Halo Waypoint application on the Xbox 360. In Halo 4's multiplayer component, titled Infinity, players assume the role of a customizable Spartan IV super soldier. Players can progress through ranks by earning experience points from completing matches and challenges. Gameplay items such as visual customizations, weapons, armor abilities, and various upgrades are unlocked and can be acquired by players when they gain ranks. Once players attain rank state Route 50, they can enlist into a specialization, enabling them to unlock further cosmetic and gameplay-enhancing customizations for their Spartan. War Games is a competitive multiplayer matchmaking mode. There are various playlists with different game types ranging from standard deathmatch to objective-oriented modes such as Capture the Flag. War Games can be played with up to 16 players on Xbox Live and has up to 4-player split-screen support. In Halo 4, players are able to join certain multiplayer matchmaking sessions while they are in progress. Spartan Ops is a story-driven episodic game mode that can be played solo or cooperatively like the campaign mode. It serves as a replacement for the Firefight game mode that featured in Halo Reach and Halo 3 ODST. 10 episodes of content were released for Spartan Ops, each featured a cinematic and 5 objective-based missions. The first 5 episodes were delivered on a weekly basis following Halo 4's launch. The final 5 episodes were released in early 2013. Other game features include Forge, a map editing tool first introduced in Halo 3. Like War Games, it has both split-screen and Xbox Live support. Using the tool, players can edit default multiplayer maps by adding or modifying spawn points, weapons and items, or create new ones using canvases. Forge in Halo 4 contains a new magnet feature for connecting Forge pieces together. Theater mode allows players to view films, create video clips, and capture screenshots from recent matches in War Games or custom games. Halo 4 also offers a file-sharing system that allows players to upload and share video clips, screenshots, custom maps and game variants. Synopsis. Setting and characters. Halo 4 takes place in a futuristic science fiction setting in the year 2557, 4 years after the events of Halo 3. Backstory details that hundreds of thousands of years before the modern era, humans were one of several interstellar civilizations. Following a war with the parasitic flood, the humans came into conflict with the Forerunners. a powerful race that upheld a policy of benevolent shepherding of other races known as the Mantle of Responsibility. Humanity had begun an aggressive campaign of destroying any flood infestations on a planet, which was misinterpreted as a desire for conquest. After centuries of war, the Forerunners defeated the humans and stripped them of their technology and empire, who are the ancestors of the contemporary human race. The Forerunners soon fought the Flood themselves, after exhausting every other strategic option available to them. The Forerunners activated weapons of mass destruction known as the Halo Array. The array's firing killed all sentient life in the galaxy to deprive the Flood of their food. Life that the Forerunners catalogued was then reseeded throughout the galaxy. In the 26th century, spacefaring humanity comes under attack from the Covenant, an alien collective of species that worships the Forerunners as gods. The Covenant believe that activating the halos will bring about salvation, not destruction. The human supersoldier Master Chief John 117, along with his artificial intelligence companion Cortana, are instrumental in stopping the halos from being activated, and the Flood from once again menacing the galaxy. At the end of Halo 3, Chief and Cortana are left stranded in unknown space aboard the remains of the vessel Forward Unto Dawn. Much of Halo 4's campaign and Spartan OP's missions take place on or near the Forerunner planet Requiem. Part of the game also takes place on Ivanov Research Station, a human base in orbit around the Halo Ringworld Installation 03, and in Earth's orbit. Campaign 4 years after the events of Halo 3, UNSC Forward Unto Dawn drifts towards Requiem from the destroyed ring. Cortana wakes Master Chief from cryonic sleep shortly before rogue post-war Covenant forces board the vessel. The remnants of Forward Unto Dawn are caught in Requiem's gravity well and pass through an opening to crash land on its interior. As Chief and Cortana explore Requiem, fighting hostile Covenant and Prometheans, Cortana malfunctions. She reveals that she is experiencing rampancy, a declining mental state where AIs past their operating expectancies think themselves to death. Chief promises to get Cortana to Earth, believing that Cortana's creator, Dr. Catherine Halsey, can fix Cortana's condition. Chief and Cortana pick up garbled transmissions from a human ship, UNSC Infinity, who have picked up Dawn's distress call. Cortana attempts to warn Infinity away from Requiem's gravity well and directs the Chief to deactivate what she believes are communications jammers. Instead, the Chief unwittingly releases the Didact, an ancient Forerunner warrior, from imprisonment. The Didact takes control of the Prometheans and Covenant and attacks Infinity after it is dragged into Requiem. Chief makes contact with Infinity and helps repel the Didact's attack. Chief and Cortana recommend attacking the Didact while he is vulnerable, but Infinity Captain Del Rio orders them to destroy the gravity well so their ship can escape. In the process, Chief is contacted by a Forerunner known as the Librarian, the wife of the Didact, as well as ancient humanity's protector. She explains that the Forerunners were divided on how best to combat the Flood. After failing to discover a way to immunize biological beings from the parasite, the Didact used a device called the Composer to convert the warriors under his command into digital versions immune to infection. Requiring more soldiers, the Didact forcibly converted captured humans into Prometheans, before being stopped and imprisoned by the Librarian. The Librarian, who has guided humanity's development, accelerates the Chief's evolution. This grants him immunity to the Composer. After destroying the gravity well, Del Rio orders a retreat back to Earth, doubting the Chief and Cortana's testimony. The Master Chief disobeys orders to stand down and relinquish the malfunctioning Cortana, and stays behind to oppose the Didact. Infinity Executive Officer Commander Lasky gives Chief an armed transport and wishes him luck. Chief and Cortana attempt to sabotage the Didact's ship before he leaves, but when they are unsuccessful they follow the Didact to a Halo ring. Installation 03. The composer has been moved from the ring onto the nearby Ivanov research station, which the Covenant attack. The Chief defends Ivanov, but the Didact retrieves the composer and uses it on the station, composing every individual except the Chief. Chief and Cortana use a fighter to follow the Didact's ship through slipspace towards Earth, aided by Infinity, now commanded by Lasky, and the UNSC Home Fleet. The Chief boards the Didact's ship with a nuclear warhead. Cortana inserts copies of herself into the Didact's computer systems to overwhelm the Didact's shield, but not before the Didact directs the composer at Earth. With the help of Cortana, the Chief defeats the Didact, who falls into a slipspace corridor generated underneath the composer. The Master Chief activates the bomb but is saved by Cortana, who sacrifices herself. The Chief is found by a UNSC rescue team and is taken back to Infinity, where he, mourning the loss of Cortana, talks with Lasky about Earth, humanity, and what his duty as a soldier means. In a post-credits cutscene, UNSC forces descend on the city of New Phoenix, the location the Didact used the composer on, to find its inhabitants composed. In a narration, the Didact proclaims the Forerunners' role as custodians of the galaxy, having to bear the mantle of responsibility, and humanity as the greatest threat in the galaxy. Master Chief removes his armor aboard Infinity. If the player completes the game on Legendary difficulty, the Chief's eyes are briefly shown. Spartan Ops. The events of Spartan Ops take place 6 months after Halo 4's campaign. Sarah Palmer, commander of the Spartan IVs, deploys Spartan squads to clear out the Covenant and Promethean forces in Requiem's interior in order to set up research bases. Crimson Squad recovers a mysterious artifact excavated by Covenant. Infinity scientist Dr. Glassman disappears after studying the device. Catherine Halsey is brought to Infinity due to her knowledge of Forerunner technology. She is kept under guard by Marines and Spartans, including Gabriel Thorne, who lost his family during the Didact's attack on New Phoenix. While studying the artifact, Halsey begins receiving messages on her computer from an anonymous sender. The source of the transmissions is M. Dharma, who captures Glassman and forces him to work on a Forerunner device that supposedly contains the Librarian. Pursuing M. Dharma's troops, Crimson Squad recovers another artifact. When Halsey examines the device, it displays images Thorne recognizes as depicting New Phoenix. Lasky reveals to Halsey and the Spartans that the UNSC knows Prometheans are former humans. Approaching the artifact looking for answers, Thorne is teleported to Requiem and captured by Covenant. Palmer arrests Halsey for communicating with M. Dharma. Thorne escapes captivity outside M. Dharma's base, and escapes with Glassman. They are rescued by Majestic Squad. Halsey uses an override code to force Infinity SAI Roland to assist her. Seeking information withheld from her concerning the Librarian, Halsey learns that Master Chief is alive. Halsey contacts M. Dharma to try and strike a deal. As they both want to find the Librarian, Roland breaks free of Halsey's control and summons guards to apprehend Halsey. Lasky decides to place Halsey in cryogenic sleep to prevent further trouble, but Promethean forces invade Infinity, capture Halsey and teleport her to M. Dharma's base. Seren Osman, head of the Office of Naval Intelligence, orders Lasky to kill Halsey, but he is reluctant to do so. Palmer sets off to Requiem to kill Halsey. Lasky tells Majestic Squad to intervene and rescue Halsey from M. Dharma. Halsey steps into the Forerunner device and makes contact with the Librarian. The Librarian gives Halsey the 2 pieces of the Janus key, an instrument that provides the location for all Forerunner technology in the galaxy, and instructs Halsey to use the key to advance humankind. Upon receiving the key, Halsey exits the device and Dharma takes half of the key from her. Halsey passes the second piece to Thorne's Majestic Squad and Palmer arrive. Palmer wounds Halsey in the arm just before a Promethean teleports Dharma and Halsey from the base. Dharma sets Requiem to collide with the nearby sun and his forces evacuate the planet. Crimson and Majestic disable devices that anchor Infinity to Requiem, allowing the ship to escape before the installation is destroyed. Meanwhile, Halsey, who lost her wounded arm, tells Dharma she has been betrayed by the UNSC and offers to ally herself to exact revenge.